After apologizing with a sheepish grin, Mr. Bean dug in Mr. Bean bag to find his beach gear. Mr. Bean pulled out an enormous inflatable flamingo, which Mr. Bean promptly inflated in the wrong direction. The flamingo shot across the sand, taking Mr. Bean with it, creating a hilarious scene of chaos as Mr. Bean tumbled over sandcastles and startled seagulls. Finally, Mr. Bean decided it was time to take a dip. Mr. Bean waded into the water and confidently began to swim. But soon, a crab pinched his toe. In a panic, Mr. Bean splashed around, creating waves that soaked a group of nearby picnickers. They glared at him, but Mr. Bean just smiled and waved, completely unfazed. After his lively swim, Mr. Bean returned to the towel, only to discover that his sunblock was missing. Not wanting to risk a sunburn, he decided to improvise. He spotted a nearby sandcastle and patted mud all over his arms and face, thinking it made a good sunscreen. As he strutted about, looking like a mud monster, children began to laugh and followed him, chanting, "Mr. Mudbean, Mr. Mudbean." At the end of the day, covered in sand and laughter, Mr. Bean took one last dip in the water to rinse off. But as he emerged, a wave knocked him down, sending him crashing onto the beach with his beloved teddy bear floating next to him in a rubber ring. With a goofy smile and a wink, Mr. Bean lifted his teddy high in victory, raising laughter from everyone around. After all, who could resist the charm and silliness of Mr. Bean at the beach? Suddenly, he had an idea. Why not teach his teddy bear how to surf? Grabbing a tiny surfboard, he placed the teddy bear on it and set it adrift in the shallows, hoping for the best. To everyone's surprise, a small wave rolled in, perfectly lifting the teddy bear as it glided across the water. The crowd erupted in laughter and cheers, captivated by the sight of a surfing teddy bear. Emboldened by the teddy's success, Mr. Bean decided to join in on the action and attempted to surf alongside it. With a mix of enthusiasm and clumsiness, he hopped onto a larger surfboard, teetering dangerously as he paddled out. Just as he began to find his balance, another wave approached, and with a loud splash, he wiped out spectacularly, sending water everywhere. The crowd roared with laughter as Mr. Bean surfaced, a comical expression of shock on his face, while the teddy bear floated safely nearby. Determined not to give up, Mr. Bean climbed back onto his surfboard, shaking off the water and grinning wildly at the cheering crowd. With renewed vigor, he paddled out once more, this time setting his sights on catching a wave alongside his stuffed companion. Just as he caught the energy of the next wave, Mr. Bean felt a rush of exhilaration, and with a triumphant shout, he stood up on his board. The crowd gasped in awe as he rode alongside the teddy bear, both of them balancing perfectly together on their surfboards. As the wave carried them closer to the shore, the duo became the unexpected stars of the beach, captivating everyone around. With a graceful dismount, they landed perfectly on the sand, greeted by thunderous applause and laughter from the delighted crowd. With a playful grin, Mr. Bean unveiled a colorful trophy shaped like a surfboard, declaring it would go to the teddy bear that rode the wave the best. The crowd erupted into cheers as eager participants lined up, each clutching their own stuffed animals, ready for the challenge. As the first contestant took their turn, Mr. Bean assisted by giving the teddy bear a gentle push into the water, leading to a comical splash that had everyone giggling. Laughter filled the air as the brave little bear wobbled on its board, seemingly determined to impress the crowd. After a few thrilling attempts, one teddy bear finally caught a wave and rode it gracefully towards the shore, leaving the crowd in stunned silence. The moment it landed perfectly on the sand, an explosion of cheers erupted, and Mr. Bean leaped into the air, celebrating the feat.